Hello, everyone. Patriot5 and Patriot6 Friday night. Friday, the last day of the week, the last day of the meetings. And we went through last night. We went through listening to Sue and her. That woman's got more bundles than Carter's got pills. I didn't understand it because, see, Carter was already out of business by the time I was a kid, old enough to realize, but that was one of my mom's favorite sayings. And since I just got done sending a message to Jimmy's dad, catching up with my daily talk with him, keep him in prayer, guys, because he's struggling today. He's having a bad day, and he's going to have them. You know, we have other people on here that's lost loved ones like that. And I know one of the strongest women, if not the strongest woman I know, is Myrna. And I know even as much as she puts up the great wall, the great protector, you know, like the song says, we know she's the great pretender. You know, but the whole thing is, Ron's saying hi, Ron. Hi, Margaret. I'm sure Janet, I don't see her up there right now. There she is. Janet's here.
Oh, yeah.
Bill Woods. Myrna. Ian. Margaret. Michael. CA. David's here. Family channel. Hello. And guys, I really like doing this with the laptop now because, man, the picture is crystal clear. And I can see over here every now and I can stop. My today was amazing. I slept later than I should have. But Linda, yes, I've taken my medicine. Linda, yes, I've done my walks to the tone of 20,158 steps so far. And I've kept my feet elevated. I sat down at the park today with the kids. So I had to pick the little monkey up because we're going to go right into the kids. I'm going to talk to the kids and then do the pledge and then do the stuff. So I took 3 of my grandkids. I picked them up. I picked little Addison up. But to show you how days can go, Ron needed some money, so he wrote me a check to cash at my bank to bring him some cash. I needed some money, so I wrote a check for myself. Okay. I told the lady at the bank when I went to the drive-in exactly how much money I had. Now, I'm on my way over to pick up the little monkey at school, at preschool. And I get over there and I tell her exactly how I want it, and she does it. She had such an invigorating smile. I didn't want to sit there and count it in front of her like I didn't believe her. So I left. But before I left the parking lot, because remember, there's cameras on me, I stopped and I counted it. It was $100 short. So I drove back around, and as luck would be, there was no cars there. I was able to pull up. She says, "There's something wrong, Mr. Anderson?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Here, look at this." She counted it, and she said, "I thought there was supposed to be 400 here." I said, "There is. That's why I told you to count it." She says, "Well, since you left where I couldn't see you, I have to count my drawer." So I'm thinking, oh, that's going to make me late for the little monkey. But you know what? $100 is $100. I wasn't mad. She wasn't mad at me. She counted and she said, "You're right. I made a mistake. I'm sorry." I said, "Nothing to be sorry about. You're human. Everybody makes mistakes. Don't worry about it." She looked at me and she said, "My goodness, I can't believe anybody takes something like that. Most people would be yelling and cussing and screaming at me thinking I'm trying to steal $100 from them." And I said, "Yeah. And if you weren't new at the bank and you knew me because I've been banking here for close to 45 years, I said, if you knew me, you'd know that I'm not going to cheat you. I'm not going to try to steal $100 from you." And I started to tell her a story. And she said, "I know this story. All the people around here talk about this story." And the story was a while back. Me and Ron had to go pay some bills, so I stopped at the bank to get some money. I needed $350, and she did it, and she puts it in an envelope, and I stick it in my pocket. And Off I go. We move over to hit from one highway to hit the other one to go into Kankakee. And just before Limestone, and you guys have no clue of where I'm talking about, but this is the route it took. There's a bank, another affiliate of my bank, Hersher State Bank. It's the Limestone version of it. And I looked at Ron, I said, you know what, I better count this money and make sure it's true. It wasn't $350. I didn't get shorted. This lady had made a mistake and gave me $3,500. I said, Ron, we could be bad people here and we could keep it. And that girl's going to lose her job because she ain't going to have $3,150 to cover her drawer. So I knew one of the bosses that worked at the Limestone version of our bank. And I pulled in and I asked to talk to her. And she came out and said, Ralph, what you need? And I said, hey, I got $3,150 here. And she said, what? I said, I want to give it to you. And she said, why? And I said, let's go into your office. Because I didn't want anybody else to know. She said, thank you. Most people wouldn't do that. I said, well, I guess I'm not most people. I'm honest. Did it hurt me to leave that $3,150 go? Yeah, but it made me feel a lot better to help that girl. So Donna called the girl up, said, you're buying me lunch today. We're coming out to lunch. I got something I want to talk to you about. The girl said, okay, boss. Because she worked at that bank, the girl that did it, and she also works at the Limestone one. So Donna actually is her boss. So you go out there and they go up to the upstairs uptown diner and they're sitting there and she gets her purse and she opens up and says, here, take this and put this in your drawer when you get back. And she said, what? She said, put this in your drawer when you get back. I said, what do you mean? She said, you remember when Ralph Anderson come and visited you? And she said, yeah. And she says, you gave him $3,500, not $350. And she said, and he returned it? He said, yeah, he made a special trip over. It's going by my bank, and he stopped and gave it to me so I could give it to you. But the only three that ever need to know about that is me, you, and him, and well, four because his brother Ron knows. So we got that settled. I go and pick up the little monkey. I go to the school and pick up Liam, Patriot7. And then we just talked to my daughter for a little bit. She got to see her daughter, a little monkey. And then we headed over to the other school and picked up Ella, of which we went out for lunch, pizza buffet, and took him to the park. And we had an amazing day. The good part about it was they couldn't argue, fight, or get in any trouble because if they did, Mom and Dad had a surprise for them for tonight, and they didn't get the surprise if they got in any troubles. But they was really good. We had a great time. And last night I got to spend some quality time with little Kira, and also some quality time, just a few minutes with small Hank. I was looking through some pictures today when I first got up and I was done walking and just wanted to sit and relax before I started my day, and started looking at pictures of little Leona and little Ilana, and what beautiful young girls, what beautiful, beautiful kids. So I couldn't be outdone there. I had to go and look at Hunter and Patriot Princess, our queen. But Wyatt's birthday is today, so happy birthday, Wyatt and Karate Kid. I looked at their pictures that Michelle has given me over the years. Found a picture of little Patriot7, and then I started looking and actually talking to Super Jimmy. Boogie, Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo. Had to go and find them pictures. So all of my kids on the show I've associated with today through pictures. And all I can tell you guys is, for the kids, we are so close. And my grandson looked at me today, and I got a quick story about him too. He learned a lesson today. He'll never do it again. He looked at me and he says, you keep saying, Papa, we're close. I said, I'm going to tell you we're close until I can finally look you in the eye, man to man, and tell you we're there.
We've been close for 15 years.
And Ron says we've been close for 15 years, which we have. But Patriot 7 today, when we got back, he was waiting for Mommy and his dad to get home. Because if they was good, they got a special treat again tonight. They were going to go do something. And he went outside. He thought he'd go pick the tomatoes because they got a whole bunch of tomatoes in their garden. And they got so many that they've got a little stand sitting out by the road telling people to stop, take all the free tomatoes they want. And you know what's really cool about it? We've watched people do this. And they'll stop and they'll pick up 2 or 3 tomatoes. And then they go. You know, there's so many people in the world that would take a bag and take them all. But they're not. They're sharing. But he also decided to pick some jalapeno peppers. Came in the house and he showed his mom what he had picked. And all of a sudden, she said, okay. He got in the refrigerator to get a drink, and all of a sudden he started to. Was very annoyed. He was very hurt. And we said, what's the matter? He says, my eyes are on fire. They're burning. He wasn't thinking, and his eyes were itching, and he went and took his hand like this. And it went down like this. And he had jalapeno on it. To say the next 15 minutes was total HE double toothpicks is an understatement. I really thought we were going to have to rush him to the emergency room. Amber made him jump in the shower and try to wash it out. We did everything we could. He said, Mom, I'm so thirsty. Get me a glass of water. And she went. She got him a glass of water in the kitchen and took it into him and handed it to him. He finished. And he said, I'm still thirsty. I said, you want another glass of water? He said, yeah. He hands me the glass, and I had the water running in the bathroom sink. I got the water for him. I opened up the curtain. I said, here, you want this? He said, yeah. I said, where? He said, just give it to me. So I took it, and I flung it on him. And it was cold. It was almost like ice cold water. And he started to laugh. And you know, it was amazing because here's a kid that was in so much pain and agony. But I took his mind off of what he was in pain and agony for. And he started to laugh. And within about 5 minutes, he seems to be okay. I stayed there. I was there an extra 45 minutes tonight just waiting for him to let me know he was okay. So just as a warning, never pick jalapeno peppers and wipe your eyes. No, no, no. So that being said, I'm going to do the pledge. Then I'm going to go into the music. Then we're going to come back. And we don't have a whole lot, but we got some. Hi, Rosemary. And we got some, and we'll get into it and have a little fun tonight. Do a little dance. You know, guy told me a joke today when we was having our lunch. I was in line to get a little pizza, and he looked at me and he said, I really like my colors of my shirt. I'm very patriotic. And I said, that's why I go by the name Patriot5. He said, oh, I like that. He said, why Patriot5? And I said, I'm a patriot, and my favorite number is 5. That was my baseball number, so I'm Patriot5. My brother's Patriot6, only because we wanted to keep it Patriot. Actually, you guys named Ron. Because if Ron would have picked a number, he'd have picked 17 because that was always his number. But he looked at me and says, I got a joke for you. And I said, oh, yeah. And he says, it's about butter, but you can't spread the joke. You can't spread it. And at first I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, what the hell is the matter with this guy? When's he going to tell me the joke? And then it hit me. The light bulb, you might say the light bulb went on, guys. So that being said, let's do the pledge and the music, and let's get this show rolling. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my start again. Just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt as love is land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd rather stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt love says, God bless the USA.
I just want to be I was watching everything come up.
Next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this
Yes, sir. God bless the USA. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. So all the people who don't like me want to write me emails that why do I play that song? Why do I say that every time I does it? Because I'm an American. And see if the hat wins, or no, when the hat wins, if it even goes to an election, when he becomes president again, I'm going to stay in this country and I'm going to do everything in my God ability to help this country get better. So you people that say when he takes over, if he wins, don't have to worry about he won. Guys, he's won already. This is just a show. He's won. So pack your bags. You know, I'm on TikTok there. And I'm seeing so many people. But what's really amazing to me now is how many black people. And see, I've never had a trouble with a color of a person's skin in my life. As I've told the story, when I was born, first 3 years of my life, first 8 or 9 years, 10 years of Ron's life, and my brother and my sisters, you know that. We lived on the south side of Kankakee. That was in the area we lived in a 10, 12 block radius. There was 3 white families. Actually 4, because 2 of them lived in one house. That was my mom, dad, and my family on the bottom floor, my aunt and her kids on the top floor of the house. Our next door neighbors were white, and a family about 4 blocks over was white. Color of skin to me means nothing. If Jesse Jackson wouldn't have had to go into hiding and could have stayed doing what he did, color of skin would matter to nobody. Yes, the lady across the street. Now, this is Ron just brought me on to a story because he mentioned someone's name. There was a lady that lived right across the street. Her last name was Fleece. I always called her Mammy Fleece. Grandma Mammy Fleece is what we called her. I was like 13 or 14 years old before I realized she really wasn't my grandmother. I'm serious. Ron was making fun of the ice cream man one day. And the ice cream man grabbed him. And guess what happens? Many years later, this ice cream man that was delivering to Ron when he was a little boy. We worked together with him for 25 years. I worked at a factory for 30 years. We had about the same amount of white as we had black. I can honestly say, other than my two brothers that worked there, the favorite foreman I ever had was Ralph Bailey, who was as black can be and one of my best buddies on a golf course. His best buddy was Zeke Archie, another black foreman. Guys, we have to let go white and black. But the point I brought this up was because I'm seeing so many black that are totally against Dopey. For any new members on here, just ask who Dopey is. We speak in code. We have a code for the guy who they say is president and his companion, whether it be a he or a she. We have one for Obi and Big Mike. We all know, because we heard from the hat, that HC is just a terrible individual. He likes to use that phrase. Billy Boy's got his girlfriend. And we don't even want to talk about the Beans people because the old man, may his soul rot in hell forever and ever. That's all I can say. What that man did, there is nothing you can say, nothing you could ever say to say, we'll give him a chance. No. Anyway, there's a lot of things going on there. But there's a lot of good things coming, guys. Great things coming. Mark Z is saying now, I just got this from Margaret just before show. Mark Z is saying that we're going to go into a shotgun start. And he thinks that's the fairest way to do it. And I do too. But see, I'm going to elaborate a little more because I'm going to give my opinion about what we should do. We keep getting told that we're in danger when we go there. We go to the Redemption Center, they're going to have so much of the protection for us. Why? Why do we need protection? Because the easiest thing to do it, the easiest thing to wake up the world, the best thing they can do is let's do the movies. That take 10 days. But wake the people up with about 3 days of the movies. And we could start them Monday. What's Monday? To 12th, 13th, 14th? We could start them Monday, Tuesday. We could start the shows 3 days, 24 hours a day. And make sure we play the one that explains about the R&R projects, the R&R and all this and all that. And then people get a phone call. They answer their phone and, hello, Mr. Anderson. Yes, sir. Don't say yes, sir, because even though we know it's a good call, we don't want to say the word yes on the phone. Speaking, Mr. Anderson, I wanted to tell you I am so and so from such and such a bank, redemption center, or whatever, and we're inviting you to come in. An account, a quantum account, has been opened up in your name, and we need you to come in and verify it and get everything 100% done. And they could do this to all these people for the next, I don't know, however long it takes, 14 days. Now, everybody, as a gentleman was talking today on Restored Republic, everyone will reap wealth. Everyone will be wealthy. There will be no one left behind. And how many times have we heard the hat say, no one will be left behind? Which, as I was just thinking here, I was thinking, no one will be left behind. That might be a good gematria I might put together, and put together a little, excuse me, there's something on my screen. Put together a little gematria and then a little video on TikTok or Rumble or something, and bring out a little gematria thing for you over the weekend. But if everybody had money, when we go to the redemption centers, and I was asked, and I think she took my advice. I was asked by one of our patriots, and I'm not going to mention name because I don't know if she wants her name mentioned. But she told me that she could get X amount of billions of Zim for a price. She was going to get 5 of them. It's going to give her 250 billion times 5 or whatever. So I started looking around, and I think it was just a few dollars more than what she was going to pay for that. It might have been 50 billion, and she was going to end up with 250 billion. But what she was going to pay for the 5 of them, one each individual, adding it up, for like $2 more, I showed her on Banknote World where she could get 10 trillion. And she wanted to know, what have you heard about the prices of Zim? Well, I've heard a lot. I've heard we're going to get anywhere from $30 to $50 million. I've heard we're going to get anywhere from $50 to $100 million. And then from Dave XRP, I've heard that we're going to get anywhere from $2 to $8 billion on a 100 trillion note. So it's simple math. Whatever we're going to get on a $100 trillion note, you just take that time, 1/10 of it. So if we're going to get 30 to 50 million, you're going to get 3 to 5 million. Not bad. Not bad for a $26 investment. Think about it. And the same thing with the 50 to 100, you're going to get 5 to 10 million. And the same thing for, if we get the 2 to 8 billion, you're going to get 200 million, or you're going to get up to 800 million. Now, this lady wrote me a letter today and told me she got it. I think she got the trillions. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. I was reading it very quickly just before I came on. And she put in there, she says, when I get this money, I'm going to send you a large amount so you can use it for your humanitarian projects. No, that's not what you do. You just tell them at the humanitarian projects you're working with Patriot5 and Patriot6 humanitarian projects, and they'll start you a special account and put money in it to start putting into our projects. Don't take none of what you're going to put in your bank and worry about sending me, because I'm going to have plenty myself. But I will not refuse it if you want to give me. I'm just joking. I don't want money. I'm one of the guys that I'd like to have it, but it doesn't bother me that I don't. So last night, Bob wasn't available for Bruce. Kind of a shame. Because when Bob's not available for Bruce, then we got to listen to all of Sue's bundles. Now, the show lasted an hour and 18 minutes and some seconds. Bruce talked Intel for a little over 8 minutes. What was it, 8 minutes and 34 seconds, Ronnie? He's taking a little snooze. David Duffy, Ralph, what you need, David? Yes, they did, Jimmy. Your mommy left you Zim, and we're going to make sure Daddy knows what to do with it. Renee was very, very good to this people, her family. She left them very well off. I guess she knew I'd work with them. Someone, David sent me something. Check this out about the Mickey Mouse clock. Let's see what he's got to say here. Wow, check this out about the Mickey Mouse Club. Phil said during his live, to think MIRROW, when looking at the Mickey Mouse Club, I took a picture of the Mickey Mouse clock through a mirror image. The Mickey Mouse clock says 10-2 or 10-10. Both the numbers 2 and the letter Z have a similar curved line and slopes towards the left to the right and then loops at the bottom. The number 2 represents the letter Z, and instead of 10, it's 01/1. Z equals 26 plus 1 equals 27. What if Mickey Mouse clock is pointing us to Sunday, October 27th? From 10/27 to November 5th is exactly 10 days of darkness. This is true. Another gentleman answered him by saying, the 5th of September, remember, the 5th of September. Then they got a picture of the Mickey Mouse Club. But since we're talking about Mickey Mouse, and before I go any further, guys, the music played tonight in this video is for entertainment purposes only. We have nothing to do with the music. We don't own it. I have written a message to the man who we play his song. We don't play other versions. We play the same one with Lee Greenwood. And I sent him a letter stating that we asking permission to use it. He didn't comply, or he didn't say no. I've heard him in interviews say anybody is welcome to use this song if they're using it in the right way, and I believe we are definitely using it the right way. This video also is not made for the viewing of children unless under the supervision and okay of their parents, grandparents, or legal guardians. I don't say nothing really wrong that would hurt them. I shy away from talking about children and that, other than the fact what I am going to talk a little bit about tonight. But so I needed to cover that because, and I'd already told you what Mark Z said about the shotgun start.
Who thinks it's going to be next week?
What's that?
Who thinks it's going to be next week?
Bruce is confident it's going to be next week. Ron was just telling me. I haven't listened to Bruce. I had a very busy day with my grandchildren and was not able to join them and listen. Here's something. We continue to expose FEMA. They are lying and not helping. People on the ground here are documenting and disclosing lies. Communist censorship tactics won't stop the truth from getting out. I want you to share this with everyone. As Bruce was talking last night, a lot of his show, and if Marianne was on, and keep Marianne in her prayers. She has a funeral to attend tomorrow for her aunt. It was her husband's aunt, and she has a funeral to get through and then the burial on Monday. Always keep Jimmy's family, because we loved Renee so much. We want to keep praying for their family, and they're strong. And to be honest, Renee wouldn't have left. She'd have fought more if she didn't believe they were strong enough to pull through. Why are we losing people? I don't know. Believe me, I'm trying to find out. I had a major talk with God today about this particular subject. I haven't got any answer yet. It's his doing. He has a plan for everybody. We have to just be prepared to listen to it. Real Source says, no black screen bullcrap, as gurus claim. The starting price of IQD on Forex, $3.20 per one IQD. And it will increase as Iraq increases their economic profit after flipping the switch. I did see a small video with Dr. Charlie Ward. I haven't seen Dr. Charlie Ward for a long time. I have not seen him. As a matter of fact, I thought he was under such a strict NDA that he wasn't talking to us anymore. But he is saying that it's ready to go. Protect yourself and just be ready. Intel only when Bruce. Where are we now? Bruce doesn't have a whole lot of intel, but he had the impression we'd be notified Friday, and now that's been superseded and accurate. We know that all of the RC redemption centers east of Mississippi are under one authority. This is going to happen on Monday, which is Columbus Day, by noon. The liaison for the sentries will receive the email and have till 5 p.m. to get that out to the redemption centers, and that will be the same for the whole of the U.S., so they have received it by 5 p.m. Then Tuesday we'll receive our notifications, but we don't know the timing. But if it's early enough, we might get an exchange appointment Tuesday. So Monday 14th. So Monday. Hold on, guys. I lost where I was at. Receive it by 5 p.m. And then Tuesday, we will receive our notifications, but we don't know the time. But if early enough, okay, I read that. And so Monday, the 14th, for emails to Redemption Center leaders, and us notified on the 15th, and start either on the 15th or 16th. Bruce also found out the information about 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. are for bondholders in Tier 3. And in their email, they will have a day and time for access of their accounts, and probably Tuesday or Wednesday, which would be a shotgun start. And we all approximately go at the same time, which is the way we should go, the way it was meant to be. And we have word that the big end could be announced as early as Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. And Iraq also paying their contractors with a celebration of dinar on Wednesday. So this whole thing is lining up beautiful. So why not this weekend? Because it's a 3-day weekend, and we've always been told that we probably will go on a 3-day weekend on a day that on Monday the banks are closed, which will make it easier for the banks to get out all of the information needed to the people who needs it. And then he decides to start talking some more about Sue's platinum and her golden bundles.
Don't and Brack have a holiday this next week.
TNT Tony, I was going to send you some bad news, but decided to tell you some great news. Tomorrow, clear skies ahead from TNT Tony. Okay. Let's go up here and I got something here else I want to read. Here's something on the QFS. Now, guys, when I was talking about the big N,
Tell them Frosties ain't $1 again.
what's that?
Tell them Frosties aren't $1.
Why's that?
Maybe some of them go to there to get a Frosty.
So anyway, I lost my train of thought when he said that. Oh, talking about the big N. Tonight, my daughter looked at me before I came home after we finally got my grandson taken care of with his ordeal. And she looked at me and she said, you know, Dad, if I just didn't have a house payment, I wouldn't care about the rest of it. I don't need to be a millionaire. I don't need to be a billionaire. I don't need to be a trillionaire. Now, don't get me wrong. If you can make me that, I'll gladly give you a hug. And I thought, well, you know what? That's pretty cool. She's realistic. And I said, it's about to happen. And she said, and she started to say, Dad, you're always telling me that. And my little granddaughter, Ella, Patriot super gymnast, she steps in and she says, Mom, you're the one that's always telling us, Papa really believes in what he's doing and we got to support him. Well, you don't support him if you're going to doubt him. If he says it's going to happen soon. And he said he not only tells you it's going to happen, he tells you why, because he's telling you if you're listening, he don't think there'll be an election. And my daughter is kind of hung up on Big Pharma. And it's kind of funny because, see, if you listen to Dopey speak, it's always about the hat. It's always about how he's in bed with Big Pharma. And when I see that, I just, no matter what kind of mood I'm in, when I read or see or hear her say something like that, if she can get it out from not telling the people that, she was born in a middle class family. If she can get it out without saying how she's going to depopulize our population in the United States is one of the first. That makes me feel good that she's going to figure a way how to get rid of people. And she's not sending back. When she's asked the question, what are you going to do about all these illegals? These illegals have the opportunity. And, J.D. Vance made the statement, they do have the opportunity to come here. But they have to come here the right way. So you can rest assured that as soon as it's made the announcement that the hat is back in charge, there are going to be some people going home. And they ain't going to get that thousands and thousands of dollars. But what kind of people come over here just so they can do that. But they end up losing their children. And you know what I'm talking about. It's just unreal the way things happen. But as I'm talking to my daughter and we're discussing things and I'm trying to explain to her what the big N is, she says, do you really believe that? And I said, 100 and a million or trillion or whatever percent. Yes. And then she said something about big pharma. And I says, big pharma is just about kaput. It's just about done. You guys want to keep talking about it. The lady running, all she wants to do is accuse the hat of being in bed with them. He's literally dismantling them. He is literally taking them and one piece at a time. But as he's doing it, he's making sure that they're just like mainstream media news and keep their mouths shut. Because just imagine what it would be like if they would start talking and people would find out about these magical beds, about the way things are going to happen. There'd be such a rush. There'd be such a confusion. He's playing it not to the speed that we want, but he's playing it how he has to get it done. The quantum financial system will be a game changer. Trust the plan. The purpose of QFS is to end corruption, usury, and manipulation within the banking systems. Banks will no longer need to make huge profits from money transactions. The QFS will be completely independent from any existing centralized system, and all other transport systems will be obsolete. QFS is not a cryptocurrency. After revaluation, the currency of all nations will become obsolete, collateralizing assets and ensuring a stable value. This process is simply a bank of information in the computer's memory / summary. Activation of the QFS ends the central banking system, perpetuating so-called debt slavery. QFS is the leading technology that applies and creates 100% financial security and transparency for individuals, currency holders. QFS assigns the digital number to every dollar, euro, yen fixed in all bank accounts worldwide. Digital numbers are monitored and updated in real time. In other words, it indicates when the sender and receiver accounts were recorded in the ledger. GPS verification. QFS lives with artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence interacts with the financial transactions in the world, ensuring legal and intended power and transparency. Only gold or asset-backed currencies with digital gold or asset certificates will be transferred through the QFS. All gold asset-backed currencies are coveted back to gold or asset backing now. Global wealth distribution, GWD, based on trade and sovereignty, means that every QFS account worldwide will be solely owned by the account holder, not a bank or government. Artificial intelligence is applied across the entire QFS. One instantation is in each data center, while the nodes are coordinated in parallelism. All will provide semantic analysis and neutral language processing to understand what the entire user base is saying about banking products in contact with CIPS VPN, all in capital letters. It evolves over time, facilitating adoption, recognizing new behaviors, and recommending appropriate bank responses. QFS providers pristine clean integrity in the movement of funds from central bank sources to destination accounts. QFS will cover the new global network for the transfer of asset-backed funds and can replace the U.S. centrally controlled SWIFT system. A key benefit of QFS is to protect all parties from corruption, usury, and manipulation within the banking system and ensure banks are monitored and protected with regards to agreed upon contract to transfer fund process. The cross-border interbank payment system, CIPS, fits into a constellation of components: quantum financial systems, QFS, CIPS, artificial intelligence, AL, virtual private network, VPN, QFS 3D smartphone, asset-backed digital currency. QFS is completely independent from existing centralized system and make all other transfer systems obsolete due to its advanced capabilities. QFS is not cryptocurrency, but instead it is a asset-backed currency, digital currency. QFS reigns supreme in photonic technology at 3.5 trillion frames per second. It replaces obsolete IP dynamic routing with true physical GPS authentications between sender and receiver router while upholding 100% financial security and transparency of all currency holders. Protocols will be instituted with the QFS so that the artificial intelligence will control the transfers and independability to be allowed to control the global financial network unless the highest level of approval is given. The AL program will handle instant settlements in real time without delays. The A1 assigns a digital number to every fiat dollar, euro, yen in every bank account all over the world. Digital numbers are monitored in real time. The physical GPS location between sender and receiver is set up to provide an unbreakable security when ledgered with regard to who sent it and what account received it. The sovereign currency of the United States is USN. Boy, he wasn't lying when he said good but long. Oh, let's see what Judy has to say. I do want to thank each and every one of you that's come on tonight. I know a lot of us are getting frustrated. I can tell by our numbers. I thought I did a pretty good show Wednesday night. We didn't even hit 600 views, but that's okay because we've lost a couple hundred followers. So it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with Ron. It has nothing to do with the show. It's just, pardon me? Yes. People are just getting tired. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it's a shame, but that's what it is. And, you know, I just hope that they get it done before long because I would really hate for all these years that we've worked so hard, so diligently, getting people's eyes open for them to close their eyes right at the, you know, it would be like a running back getting to the 1 yard line, nobody in front of him and just stopping and putting the ball down. You know, Restore Republic via the GCR update as of Friday, the 11th of October, 2024. 22 personalities, Jenny Hill from Judy Bidington. Intimate, EBS alert, Black Swan event, Big N, Big G revolution early next week. The U.S. Navy aircraft carriers have moved into battle formation along the West Coast, the U.S. Pacific Coast, and throughout the Mediterranean. Content redacted. Trust the plan. It is only wise to have at least a month supply of food, water, cash, medicine, essential items on hand. And if you don't believe me, If every time I read this and some of you get aggravated that I'm reading it, why is he wasting our time on that? Ask Trisha Patterson. Contact her and ask her how she's happy that she listened to not only me, but other people. Judy and everyone. Judy, note U.S. INCFEMA creating hurricanes, fires, floods for kidnapping and land grabs. Deep state cabal corporate giants like BlackRock and Vanguard were suspected to be behind the disasters caused, with what? I can't. Judy is really making it tough on me, guys, to read stuff. Can't read that. As of Friday, 11th October 2024, the U.S. Navy and U.S. aircraft carriers were lined up in battle formation from the West Coast. Okay, as I was reading that, I know there was one thing. I don't remember the count. I want to say there was like 81, but I may be wrong. But I seen just before I came on the show tonight, I thought I had sent it over so I could read it, but evidently it didn't come over. I want to say 81, but there may have been more. Children that were missing, presumed to be done, gone, have been found. They're safe. They're with their families. We have heard reports that they have been through this ordeal. They've seen bodies of little kids in the river. But see, the thing of it is, when they rescued these little kids in the river, not one of them was from around there. They didn't know who they were. Through science and technologies and DNA and that, they are hoping to at least give their families some peace of mind. But there was something underground that was completely washed away. There was also a man that we've been chasing for 30 years and has had 18 facelifts. And I was talking to my son-in-law, Grandma Bo's grandson, last night, and I was telling him about it. We captured him. It took us 30 years. He's the number one in children, in the world. And we captured him. And my son-in-law looks at me and said, yeah, but it doesn't matter, Ralph, because one of his generals are taking over. They'll keep it going. I said, no. They captured also his top 41 people. So to say things happened in a very good way is an understatement. It's funny because I've heard things under Disney World is no longer under there no more. They're completely flooded out. They're gone. They're done. And you guys know what I'm talking about. They're done. And it's funny because right after that, this great storm that was about ready to rip, just like the last one did, stopped. It didn't go no more. I have no idea how they're going to explain this. I really don't. I have no clue of what they're going to do. All I know is the ones they could capture and save have been captured and saved, and they're now being realigned with their family. But even if they can't find their original family, they will be adopted or something by somebody else. They will have a life. And we're just almost to the point where this is almost completely gone. And you know what? If I never get a nickel out of this, if you can tell me every child in the world is safe from these people, man, that just makes my day. If it doesn't make your day, you need to go look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, Texas Rangers and local county sheriffs have deputized over 3,000 militia members so far so they could make lawful arrest on any three-letter agents. Also, the agent thing that is spelled with an F and it has an M and an A in it, one other letter. Sheriff Trip Kester of Davidson County, North Carolina, called for his local citizens to form their own militias to protect the Constitution. It is getting real, y'all. Like I've been saying, we approach this crap a bit different down here. They picked the wrong state to bully. A lot of the rest of this stuff was already covered. EBS imminent. Be ready for events that expose the cabal deep state. A lockdown is necessary. There must be a test and then review all the occurrences, currencies, and activities. Only a select few know the exact moment, the exact day, the exact time that this will happen. There will be 10 days of communication darkness where mainstream media will be blacked out, and the following things will happen. The EBS to play an 8-hour video that will replay 3 times a day for 10 days. We will receive 7 trumpets, aka EBS text messages on our phones alerting us to tune in our TV. Our phones will only work for 911 and military. Encrypted single app will be available. Our TV will only show 3 explanatory movies on a continuous loop for 10 days. It will cover topics of arrest, tribunals, fraud, corruption, with an A, etc. During this time, our internet and ATMs will not work. After the 10 days of communication darkness, we will connect to the quantum internet. We are urged to stock up on at least 3 weeks of food, water, medicine, generators, and essential items. We are promised the new Starlight system internet system by the end of the month. There are teams coordinating the important historic event. We are revamping the EBS to ensure the utmost security. After the 10 days of darkness, our world will change. In the end of financial enslavement, we will have the currencies and all that. Now, that's what they're saying, guys. And before I close, I want to talk about one thing. It is good to have a generator available because we're going into 10 days of darkness. Well, my question, why would we need a generator available if our TVs are still going to work? If our TVs are still going to work, isn't our electricity going to work? So we're going to have the light. And my other question is, why in the HE double toothpicks are they waiting to do this as it's starting to change weather and get cold? Now, we're being told that the hat is 10 moves ahead of everybody, but I'm sorry, when you're taking and going to shut people down for 10 days in cold weather, that's not very smart. So maybe you need to put on your thinking hat, sir. Maybe reevaluate things. Enough of the scaring tactics, enough of the other crap, and please, for goodness sakes, please call your dogs off. I get at least 20 messages a day, people telling me they're members of the Hats team, and he just can't win this election without my support of at least $15 to $20 at a time. It's unreal, and we all know it's phony. And I do want to apologize a little bit to someone in that Sky Prince. She came out with a video the other day. I wasn't even thinking that it wasn't her. Wasn't thinking that it was a hack job, which I truly, after Dana 1111 explained it to me, I truthfully believe she's right. because I couldn't see how a lady could go from having a video the day before and she was sky high and it was going to happen within 2 hours and she was planning all the good things to where now all of a sudden we was about ready to get our lunch handed to us in a wet paper sack. Dear Lord, as we come to the end of tonight's show, I want to give thanks, so much thanks to all the people who endured my show tonight, Ron's show tonight, stuck with us and who has stuck with us for so long. I want to ask, Lord, that you look after the people who's lost loved ones, and we know who we're talking about. Lord, look after 100% of the children and all of us in our family here and our friends and loved ones. Lord, just be there for us. Supply us with angels to get through the up and coming days until we walk that magical step in the new world of heaven on earth, which you've always wanted. And we talk to you and pray to you through our Savior, your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. Good night, everyone. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. I will come on if any really, really good news. Bye.